I want to ask you about your dad. How aware were you of his dreams back when he was a young man, which I think was to go to college and then move to Australia as a writer?
Well, my dad got a raw deal when he was a very young man because he happened to witness the murder of his father in a fight he was 8 or 9 or 10 years old, and a hired hand killed his father in the barn of the farm that they were growing up in Willows, California. He was one of four kids, and he was the only one there. And he was broken by that experience. He had to go and testify as a kid 3 times, with the lawyers and the judge and the flag, and you hereby solemnly swear. And it was a contentious fight. The man was acquitted by self-defense because it was a fight. But his father was killed, and he witnessed that.
How do you think that affected him?
It ruined him. It robbed him of a carefree life. It robbed him of a sense of fairness in the world. It was a black mark of injustice and unfairness that landed squarely on his very young shoulders. It wasn't right, and he saw it. I don't know what his relationship with his dad was. He never spoke about it very much. His mother was a very religious woman, and he didn't buy the religion at all, and he was the black sheep of the family. But he was a black sheep of the family is because of this thing that had happened, this tragedy, this scar that he ended up carrying around with him for a long time. I don't know if he ever communicated any kind of great joy that he got from anything that happened to his life until he married my stepmother. You asked about what he wanted to do. Yeah, my dad wanted to write. He had great artistic desires, but life didn't deal him the cards in order to go off and pursue it. Other things came along.
How did your role in Nothing in Common impact your communication with your dad?
Well, that was a big deal because that was Gary Marshall. That was a moment of faith from him, in which he said, "Look, we're going to do a movie here, and it's not just jokes. This isn't just jokes. We got to see you. We got to see you and your father not get along and discover each other like that." My dad was alive then, and we were beginning to see each other a lot more. As a matter of fact, I think in the course of Nothing in Common, I got divorced from my older kid's mother, and horribly painful time, fraught with emotion and bad feelings, and the failures that you go. I thought, I couldn't be a worse father, and I couldn't be a worse human being. And I told my dad at some point, I said, "Look, Dad, I'm doing this movie with Jackie Gleason, and he's playing a guy who's sick, and you were sick. He's got diabetes, and you got no kidneys. So there's a lot of you and me in this movie. I just want you to know that before you see it." And I think he appreciated it, and that there was a place for common ground, and it turned out to be in a movie called Nothing in Common.
To what extent did that cause you to have any conversations with him that up to that point you'd always been wanting to have?
I didn't burden my dad in that way. I didn't say, "Come on, Dad, what's the scoop?" But what I did do was I listened for whatever would come out. The stories of him growing up, not so much about the loss of his dad, but growing up on a farm and the type of labor that he did. I think the prior to Nothing in Common, when I got my first job as a professional actor, and I was going to leave California and go to Ohio to work at the Great Lakes Shakespeare Festival as an equity actor, as a professional guy, I got together with my dad. I took him to the to the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, a place that I had gone to a million times by myself. And at intermission, I said, "What do you think, Dad?" He said, "Well, I think it's quite inventive, something else." I said, "Well, I'm going off to work as an actor in a repertory theater, and I don't think I'm coming back to L.A. Excuse me, I don't think I'm coming back to California after this. I'm going to go to wherever this is going to take me." But he couldn't quite fathom anybody in the Hanks family getting up on stage and saying, let me have your attention, please. This was not in that's not in his DNA. He didn't think it was stupid. He didn't say, "Oh, for crying out loud, get a real job." No, just the opposite. He kind of like said, "Well, I think that if that's what you want to do, then I think that's what you should do it." The great thing of it was I was able to get established. I got the TV show. I was on Bosom Buddies. He got to see me every week, and then later on, when was able to get the films. And the first time when I was nominated for Big in the Academy Award, he and my stepmom came down, and we all went together. So he got to go to the broadcast. So he was able to take in, this kind of like grander aspect of his kid making good enough headway in it, in a realm that was completely alien to him.